And welcome everyone to the Windy City Chi-Town for the Windy City 135 here for the Juicy Spider Truck Series. I'm James Watson, of course, joined with my broadcast partner slash race control Matthew Weeks and our producer Nick Massey. First of all, Matt, I'm going to bring you in and ask you how you looking forward to this one tonight.
I'm excited. It's one of my favorite tracks. Tire wear is going to come into play with these trucks since you're on throttle a lot here. So that's going to come into, some things. Hopefully, long run. It's going to be fun. A lot of quick guys out there tonight.
Absolutely. As you see, we're about to get everything started. Not a whole lot of time to run through the grid. Your pole sitter, William White, with a fantastic time. His second pole of the season. Jonathan Cutlip right next to him on the front row. JP Phillips, Tom Bourne rounding out row 2. Ethan Stanley and Trey Eidson, row 3. Seth Rawls and Leighton Norgard, row 4. And Jeff Green and Dylan Javier in rounding out the top 10. As the you see everyone in turn, I think, is that 3 and 4 already?
Yep. Already.
Yes.
And 4, about to get ready to hit this restart zone.
Yeah. See the pace car getting ready to make that hard left-hand turn onto pit road. William White will lead us to the restart zone. Green means go. We are underway at Chicagoland. Great even start from the front row. You have Cutlip side by side with William White as they go on into turn 1.
John with a really good jump there on the initial start. I always find it hard to start in second place because if you don't have 3 monitors, or 3 screens, I should say, you really can't see the guy on the bottom, but that was a good jump. But it does go on green on the start, so I guess that does help. Oh, yeah. Someone just got loose right there. Who's at the 16 truck? Woo, what a save.
No kidding. As you see already a bunch of trucks making their way to the inside. Oh, we're going to have 3 wide here going into turn 1. As they continue to battle off of turn 2 here. Side by side, looks like, I think that might be Javier, and I'm not sure what truck he's side by side with. It looks like a shift truck, like the 25. Is that's Seth Rawls?
Yes, that's Seth. There was like almost 4 wide in the back of the pack. This track is just so racy. There's so many different lanes. I mean, you can use the bottom, the middle, the third lane right there. You can rip the wall. Like, this track is so fun. I bet these guys are just glad to actually be at a good racy track.
Absolutely. The tracks like Chicago and Kansas, they always seem to be the driver's favorite just because of the different lines you're able to use and the fact that the outside is so viable.
Yes, but you got to be careful because if you run it too long, you really use that rear. The truck is tricky. It doesn't have the horsepower like the other cars, so you're on the throttle a lot more. So I know in the Q run,
we're Chad wide.
Tyson really pinched down Chad right there to slow off that momentum.
And it's a dangerous game you're playing when you have that 15 anywhere around you.
Yeah, but what I've noted this season, even racing against him, in the Cup, he's been a little bit more patient around guys. He'll let people go earlier in the run and been actually better at saving his stuff and trying to be better on late in the run and making moves then. So he's really worked on that late this season.
Chad is growing, and we are so proud of him for that. So he continues to battle with Seth Rawls here.
Which he's not going by what I just said, so it's doing Chad, I guess.
Yep, as we say on Elite, Chad gonna Chad, but so far so clean for him and everyone else.
But like, as I was saying about this track, it's real tricky because you're on the throttle a lot, so it's very conceiving of how much you're really going to burn up that tire. Really, it plays with your mind. If you're on that throttle a lot, you're just going to cook it. So it's like all about throttle management and trying to take care of that rear, because eventually you're just going to cook the rear and you're going to be so loose middle out of the corners.
Yeah, that's the thing about some of these 1.5 miles in the truck. It's like an unnatural type of flat out pack race where you can do it, but you're gonna be burning up the tires. And I found that these tracks are very setup dependent because of that. So talking with the fixed setup now, that's could be problematic for those that are just kind of pushing like heck.
Yeah, definitely, and we'll see. I think we're coming up on what is lap 9 right here. I'd say in about 10 laps, maybe we're really going to see who's kind of took care of their stuff early in the run and who hasn't.
Absolutely. So you see Higgins and Javier side by side coming off turn 2.
Just 'cause then it's hard to pass on the bottom 2 early in the run with with the better tires. Everyone is really driving hard, but once the wear does come into play, the moves you actually be able to pass down there and then use the outside a little bit better than other guys as well. And it really looks pretty racy. I've seen him make some moves earlier in the run to get where he's at now, and I think he's just trying to manage from how hard he driven early part of this run. The first 3 or 4 laps there.
As we see Higgins now side by side with Tom Bourne. We got 2 unsponsored trucks in tonight's race. Tom Bourne, that's a name that you haven't really seen around these parts in some time. Good to see him back.
Yeah, he raced a lot last season. He came back last season, I think, for the first time in a while, and I guess he had some stuff going on in the early part of this season, so it's good to see him back on track. He's always one of those guys that's, I always call him like a sneaky fast, because he's very consistent, and then out of nowhere he can be really fast at a place, and he can just win and just dominate that night.
Absolutely. Oh, no, wait, that unsponsored truck wasn't Tom Bourne. Who was it then? It was the 76. Huh. Mitchell Welker. Oh, okay. Yeah. So Mitchell is actually someone I'm very familiar with. Mitchell is a absolutely accomplished IndyCar driver, former champion of the Formula Indy Series, which is one of the biggest and deepest IndyCar leagues out there. So this man can absolutely drive a race car. So never seen him race anything with fenders, but he doesn't look too uncomfortable here going past Jeff Green to get into the top 10. As Walker tries to pull away from the 38.
Sorry about that, guy. I had to step away. My daughter stepped in here for a minute.
Oh, good brother, as we see Javier battling with Higgins still right behind Mikolajczyk. Jane Racimus right there looking for a little bit of redemption. Last week wasn't the best race for him, unfortunately, getting the dreaded double tally in last week's race at North Wilkesboro that I don't think any of us will forget anytime soon.
Yeah. It's always one of those tracks too. North Wilkesboro always brings out the worst of some of the iRacers. It's just one of the short tracks, and when you go short track racing, things just seem to happen.
Yep, in the words of a iconic writer, poet, whatever you want to call him, that's just short track racing.
Yep.
Sounds like race control is given a little bit of a ruling on something. Take the folks at home through what you're talking about there, Matt, when you have an opportunity. All right, he's still busy with race control duties as we're riding along with the 39 of Shane Tieran. Tommy Ryan, last week's winner, trying to make his way by Seth Rawls. Ryan sends it off down into turn 3, maybe looking for a slide job. Nope, he's keeping it on the bottom, and they're still going to be side by side off of turn 4. Where does Bourne go? Oh, Bourne's taking it 3! Oh, he wanted to at least. See, Ryan makes the pass on Seth Rawls, trying to run down Chad Frankenfield here. Meanwhile, up at the front, John Cutlip continues to lead. JP Phillips is side by side for P3, Stanley and White. Unfortunately for William White, I think this is starting to go the way of that Texas race. He started up front, but fortunately lost the lead a bit into the race and was not able to get it back. Hopefully for his sake, works out a little better, but so far now he's got to hold off Eitz and hang on to P4.
Yeah, it just looks like just like Texas. Since I was a part of that race, it just looks like Will burn his stuff up a little bit too quick early in his run. You know, he started up front at Texas, drove kind of hard there, and it just, like I said, it's very deceiving in this truck where you can really overdrive it very easy, and you don't even know that you're doing it.
Oh, look at this, 3 wide.
Oh, I think got a little loose on exit.
Eitz, Phillips, and Stanley 3 wide for P2. And meanwhile, Jonathan Cutlip is loving what he's seeing in the mirror. Like, yes, boys, please do this. Let me drive away. And they're still going to barely hang 3 wide. Phillips is going to tuck back behind Stanley. White and Eitzen will battle again now. It's like White's going to take the spot back. Being inside 3 wide did not do Eitzen any favors.
Yeah, exactly. And when I had to step away and looked at an incident, but I was going to bring up, that was about around lap 18, and I brought up where on lap 8, you know, give it about 10 laps, and we'll see who's really took care of them tires, and you're really noticing it now.
Yeah, and while we're talking about that, go ahead and give the folks at home what you were talking about.
Oh, we had a little incident in the back where the 54 was just exiting the corner and thinking the guy to his outside was going to do a normal exit where they exit to the wall, and the guy did, and he technically, you really don't have to exit to the wall, and Justin didn't see him up there, and they just touched doors a little bit, and then the 30 truck lifted when they touched doors, and the 47 wasn't ready for for Connor there to lift, and just didn't react in time and ran into the back of him there, and we had a little incident there.
I see. Battle for position, Chad versus Seth. These two going at it for P7.
And this is good for Seth. This is a good run. This is something he has really been needing. I've noticed, you know, he races trucks, Xfinity, you know, he runs all 3 series. He's been in a lot of bad luck lately, a lot of stuff going on, and I think he needs this type of run to build that confidence boost back up behind the wheel, because you really do. Like, it could really play in your mind of you having, going weeks and having bad runs, and it just affects your driving more and more and more. And once you get a good top 10 finish, and it's like, okay, it just puts you back on track, and you start building that momentum and get right where you need to be. And this is the kind of run Seth needs.
Absolutely. When you have bad luck, it really just gets on you. You know, you start to get down on yourself. You start to get frustrated. You start gripping the wheel a little too hard, overdriving it. You know, sometimes you just need to relax, just take a deep breath, and, you know, get that good run, like you said, to kind of change the momentum, get a foundation to build on. And so far, so good for the 25.
Yeah, but it looks like we're about to have a race for the lead. Stanley's been creeping into John, and as I say that, John pulls away. It's going to be challenging for Stanley. John is probably one of the best guys in all of Elite with tire management and being quick on saving tires. And so, and he gains a little bit there. John's really running that outside. He looks really good. Stanley's really ripping the bottom. He dives it in there, but he just loses all the momentum on the exit. And Eisen, another guy who's really good at taking care of his tires in the truck. I could see him probably, a little loose right there, hit that bump. But yeah, it looks like these guys on the long run. It looks like these 3 trucks are going to be the ones racing for it if it goes long, you know.
Yeah, and if
Oh,
I remember correctly, I think Cutlip even won the Grand National race here a couple weeks ago. I think it
yeah,
might have
probably.
been
He's
him.
been on a roll.
Yeah, it might have been him or Blake. I have the memory of a goldfish, so I'm not entirely sure, but I know he was up there at the very least.
I think it was him because I think he won like 3 Grand National Series races in a row. And being as I gifted him one of them, I should know.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good. But back on here, Eisen is looking really good. I think it's hurting him running that outside. It's when we were in that in-car camera view of him, you can really see how loose he was, middle of the corner, just running that outside. And I'm starting to notice, looking through the field, some of these trucks are really struggling on the exit of the corners. It's really, the rear is really starting to go.
Yeah, and that's the tough thing about these tracks that you run up high on, like Chicagoland, Kansas, is because you're having to put so much throttle into it, you know, maintaining that momentum around the high side. You tend to burn the rears off just because of the continuous wheel spin you're putting into it. So that's like the one downside of running the top. That and potentially stuffing yourself into the wall.
Yep, that's why I like, in my mind, when I race like a track like this or Kansas, it's like I'll run the bottom the entire time. Y'all go ahead, go around the outside. I'll see y'all in 15 laps. You just got to play that game. Oh, as a 3 gets loose out of 4. Oh man, I think there was almost a wreck out of 4 to 3. That was, whew. As who's this? Racimus, who's needing another guy like another guy needs another good run. Couple weeks some bad looks. Bad luck races, being caught in incidents, causing some wrecks, you know. Oh, whew.
Yeah,
And these guys are
Caleb
really out of
Humor,
control.
no kidding. Oh, meanwhile, connection issues for Gavin Higgins. He has dropped his packets.
Oh no. Another truck that's actually been running really well all season long. Yeah, I think he's probably one of those guys that's going to be a sleeper in the playoffs when we get there. But that just sucks. It's unlucky because you want these little nights where if you're not having a great night, you still need those points, because if you don't win a race, points mean everything. As Trey Holmes, I think this is his first start of the Truck Series this season. looking pretty sporty in that 88 truck. He's always good on the long run. Oh.
Oh man, meanwhile, in the excitement of all these battles, the stage ended 5 laps ago.
Yeah. We were in the midst of watching that battle, and I think we were talking about the wreck that happened, so we totally forgot to end the stage. But you know, we had John Cutlip who won the stage, not really running for points, so no point guys really got a playoff point. But you see Stanley, Aiton Phillips, Ryan, I think White Rose, Bourne, and the Welker, they're all going to get some much needed points. I don't know about Welker being able to make the playoffs since he started the season real late, but still try to get the best, points finish you can if you plan on running the rest of the season. It's always good. And if you get close enough to point yourself in, who knows, you might get the money you pay your entry fee back.
Yeah, because I think after tonight we have 3 races left in the regular season, so I think it might be impossible for Mitchell to make it. But experience is the important thing, both in the truck and racing around everyone here in this series.
I don't know if that was that 59 truck. Oh, the 57 truck. It looked like he just almost clobbered the wall at a turn 4 there.
Meanwhile, we got a good battle a little further back at Ricky Harden, Logan Shea. They've been side by side for quite some time. You see Javier and Francis battling in front of them. They were 2 by 2, looking like we were on a pace lap for a minute.
Oh, there's going to be a wreck.
Yeah, come on, Pocock spinning in. Oh, the 70 plows into the side of the 7. Caution is out. Bad luck for Graham Bullis. Nowhere to go.
I couldn't tell what really happened. All I seen was the contact of them going straight to the wall. I don't know what happened prior, but I just seen, the 7 and Gerald go straight to the wall.
Let's see. Let's take a look at the replay and see what happened to the 7 of Cale Pocock.
Back and find it here. Didn't pick it up under Iris.
Let's see, he's right behind, going to the inside of Campbell. They're almost 3 wide with Thompson, and him and Gerald make contact.
It looks like Gerald thought he was going to go to the bottom, and Gerald was going to go to the middle. And the 7 didn't go to the bottom. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Gerald was expecting the 7 to go all the way to the bottom, and the 7 didn't.
Alrighty, well, I think we're going to take this opportunity to get our first break in. We'll take a breath and take a break, and we will be back shortly.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Champions, forged by the pressure of the countdown, will rise. It's where ambition meets asphalt, where some dreams are made and others go up in smoke. With only 4 races to go, the gateway to the West could be the way to win it all. This weekend, the Napa Auto Parts NHRA Midwest Nationals roar at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Get tickets today at WWTRaceway.com and be a part of the NHRA countdown to the championship this weekend.
And we are back, and just in time to see everyone 2 by 2 get ready to get back green, as we're about to be just at the halfway point as the pace car makes that hard left-hand turn onto pit road. Ethan Stanley will lead us to the restart zone. Green means go. We're back underway at Chicagoland. Stanley with a huge jump over Cutlip. And you see Stanley was able to get the lead over Cutlip on the pit cycle. Pull under the yellow. And John might be falling back to third. He will move Eidson up to P3 as he throws the block. Whoa! Covering a lot of distance there on the back straightaway for the 92.
Which I don't understand the block. I've known John for 13 years now almost. He was not going to make that move. He was just going to ride the bottom and save his tires. That's what he's going to do the first 15 laps of this run.
Oh, but you know who's not saving tires? To Eidson. He will drive right around Stanley to take the lead of this race. And Cutlip is going to try to follow him on the inside as we are 2 by 2 by 2. Cutlip, Stanley, Phillips, Ryan Frankenfield, all kinds of close racing here as we're also 3 wide towards the back of the field.
Yeah, John's he wants to defend this spot. He doesn't want to give up too many spots that he has to make up late in the run. And I don't know if they can make it on fuel. I think they can, but who knows? We could be wrong here. They could be like 10 laps short, and these guys are just driving hard and just try to split the run.
Yeah, and you especially don't want to give up a spot to Ethan Stanley, who you know is not going to be easy to get it back from. Not saying that necessarily Eidson's easy to pass, as you saw a little bit of contact, Chad and Tommy Ryan, but clearly Trey Eidson is foot to the floor, no tire save, which means they will catch him at some point, and already you see Cutlip has cut that lead in half in just one straightaway as Phillips looking to the inside of the 5 truck. Stanley falling. Go on, Matt.
I was going to say, it looks like John's trying to pressure and get that clean air. I know you can save a lot better with the clean air, and then you point out Stanley. It looks like Stanley is saving harder than John is. I was noticing him in that last camera view going through 3. He's lifting earlier than everybody. So I think he's trying to take it real easy right now. And don't sleep on Stanley. He's good here. I lost an Xfinity championship at this track against him, so he's pretty stout here.
Yeah, seeing the 91 truck fall back to save tire, that's probably the last thing anyone wants to see. Is here comes Phillips trying to take the lead from the 92. Chad looking to follow. Phillips trying to roll that middle line. Sorry to cut you off, Matt.
Oh, you're good.
He's got the momentum. Phillips is going to lead this lap, but still Trey Eidson is not letting him have it at all. I think Trey might have shut the door on Chad, who was absolutely looking to make it Chad wide through the middle. Eidson sliding up a little bit. as they are continuing to battle for this lead. 3 wide towards the back of the field as well.
3 wide. They were almost 4 wide back there. Them boys, they going at it. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, there's trouble. 88 up into the wall. Oh, man. 88 of Trey Holmes sitting the wrong way on the racetrack. To see he's the 55 looking to the inside. Here comes McCorkle with a run on the outside, and yeah, I don't think Trey must have known he was there at that point.
well, see, he knows he's 2 wide here. The thing is, Joe doesn't know they're 3 yet because the 2 truck is not next to Joe's rear. So he doesn't get the 3 wide call until late. So you can see how Joe panicked, and he even said over the radio, I didn't hear the call until late. And I think that's one thing iRacing should fix is like, if you're just a little ahead of the truck on your outside, there's a 3rd truck coming, and you're not technically 3 wide with you yet, but you're still 3 wide. They need to have your spotter call that because that just causes incidents like this.
So
Because it looks like Joe is going to exit like normal, and Trey's trying to be like, okay, trying to give him room, not knowing where he's at, and then you have this, Corkle just gets to his rear.
yeah, I mean, I will say that I did hear Joe apologize for it too, but watching it, he still, even with where he was exiting the corner, he still gave about
Yeah.
enough room for everyone to make it through without an issue.
Yeah.
I think you're right in that Trey got spooked, and it's not you can't really put that on Trey because like you're never entirely sure how much room you have to the sides of the vehicle, especially on corner exit in a 3 wide. So it's not something you can put on Holmes too. I just think it's a racing incident
Yeah.
if you're asking me.
Yep, just one of those things, and like I said, I touch on the spotter thing a lot because that tends to happen a lot on here. Is where some guys don't know they're 3 when they technically are 3, and it ends up in a lot of issues just like that, and people not knowing where other people are at.
As you see, the restart looks like going to be Eidson and Cutlip on the front row here. Looks like a lot of people pitted for tires and a good chunk stayed out. So resetting the field, it's Eidson, Cutlip, White, the top 3, with Jaden Racimus and Ty McIntosh top 5. Harden, Dorr, Boutwell, Hossack, and Sean Judson your top 10. So interesting to see this pit strategy and how this is going to work out for everyone.
Looks like Dewar and Boutwell and some of those guys back there came down pit road under this last yellow, so I'm not sure if they took 2 or maybe gas only, but they jumped guys like Chad Frickenfield, Ethan Stanley, starting 18th, back into the top 20.
Yeah, it's going to be fun watching all of them make their way through. As we see the pace car getting ready to make that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Trey Eidson will lead us to the restart zone. Green means going. We're back underway at Chicagoland. And a great jump from Cutlip. He is going to be right alongside Eidson as we sail off down into turn 1.
Yeah, then Eidson clears them. The bottom is just so good on the first initial lap in 1 and 2. You know, where shorter distance and you're still getting up to speed.
Yeah, that really saved his bacon right there as we are 3 wide a little further back.
Oh, we're 4.
Oh no, no, boy. Look at this mass of humanity. My goodness gracious. This can only end well.
I don't know how they made it through there. Usually we hear 4, they wreck.
Yeah, usually when you hear 4 wide, you hear cautions out a split second later.
Yeah, no one knows where to go when they hear 4. They're like, oh, there's 4, and everyone goes their own way. Oh, Hassan gets loose.
Oh, and he got into the wall a little bit too. Is there 4 wide once again? Well, we survived the first time. Surely this can't go wrong the second time. And we survived once again. Mother of mercy, how are they doing this?
It just comes down, I think it's this track. You know, there's a lot of room. You can really give people room, you know, to make these type of moves.
Yeah, I think here in Kansas is possible. Doing this at Charlotte and definitely at Texas, that is a death trap. That is a death sentence. You see Chad wide, Door, Boutwell, and Chad.
Oh, Dewar. Oh, I thought he was going to side draft Chad there. Oh, he gets a little loose. Oh, man, these trucks just look so fun to drive tonight here.
Speed and runs for days. Look at all this. 3 wide again. Oh, I think this team might have got the wall a bit. Seth making hay, cutting the corner on the tri-oval, trying to gain as much of an advantage as he can, as we are still 3 wide. Dusty Door has been 3 wide for nearly the entirety of this run. We're going to go 4 wide again, everybody. Oh boy, they back out of it a little bit.
Man, watching these type of races makes me want to go. Wish I was out there racing, to be honest with you. This is one of those tracks, dude. This track just brings out some great racing. No matter what, you know, the truck, the Xfinity car, Cup car, it's just such a good track to race on. These guys are still, the midfield's crazy. No matter what league or series, real life, on the sim, dude, the mid pack is like where all the craziness happens.
Yeah, and something big. Oh, we're
4 again.
Nearly 5.
Oh.
We're nearly 5. Oh, there's almost contact. Whoa, we're surviving it barely. Man, look at these guys. Oh, there's some contact. Hang on to it, Sam. Sam got a little bit of a hip check, but the 47's going to hang on. Great piece of driving by Sam Boutwell.
Dang, these boys are going at it.
Oh my goodness, this is a title fight. Everyone's just throwing haymakers at each other.
Oh, Bourne's in the wall, got stuck in the wall a little bit.
And that is going to cost him so much momentum. Look at that. That 16 is just dropping spots.
Back up front, we got a pass for P2. Chad Frankenfield making the pass on Cutlip, now going for the lead.
Yeah, here comes Chad's got that momentum on the high side. Is there anything Eidson can do to hold him off? It's not looking likely. Oh, Trey sliding up a little bit. Whoa, there's almost contact off of turn 2.
He had a lift.
And move Chad Frankenfield to the lead of this race.
Chad, think you might want to start saving your tires. If John lets you go, he's saving. Just let it. But I think that's what John's doing. He's trying to conserve his tires, hoping this goes long, hoping this goes to the end. There ain't no cautions. He wants to really be on the attack on the last part of this run and, He might be saving fuel too. Like I said, we don't know exactly how much fuel they had when they topped off there, if they could make it to the end or not. So, but with how these boys are racing, I think they can make it to the end.
Yeah,
Oh!
pretty.
Whew, someone about got turned on the front stretch there. That was close.
Yeah, this battle between White, McIntosh, McCorkle, Bourne, this one's getting hot and heavy too. As Eitzen driving down to the White. As Adams ripping the lip. Look at that momentum from the 26. He's gonna just sail right on by his teammate. And Seth is gonna join him too. Eitzen losing spots to 2 shift teammates in the span of like half a lap or something.
I wonder if some of these guys took tires underneath that last caution. Oh, 54 a little loose there.
They sure did. A good chunk of them. I think these 3 especially, Chad, Stanley, who's just re-entered the top 10 in P10.
All right. Oh man. So that's why we're seeing this craziness on this track, man. Different strats, different tires.
Yeah.
Oh, as Sam got in the wall out of 2 there.
Yeah, they are lining up behind the 47. The call looked great for Sam to begin with. He was holding on pretty good, but now he's starting to lose those positions. As you see Stanley inching ever so closer, but here it comes. Oh, 65 silent! What a save! My goodness! Wow!
What a save!
My goodness!
What a save!
Brandon Smith with the save of the century, saving the lives of at least 5-6 trucks who were just gonna get annihilated if he doesn't hold on to that Chevrolet. See, he's got a massive run on Harden, jumps to the outside as Ricky's on the apron. Going into the corner, contact.
Yeah, he just thought he was going to clear him before the entry. For how slow that truck was below, the 69 truck being slow on the apron, so he thought he was going to get him cleared before entry, turned to go straight to the bottom, and he just wasn't clear yet. But what a save, man! Way to keep the thing going and keep this thing green, as we have a.
And there might have been a smidge of neck code too. I'm not quite sure, but I swear I saw a little bit of gap between the 2 trucks, though they were absolutely going to make significant contact regardless. Yeah, timing and scoring glitched out a little bit on our end a second ago. Chad disappeared and then reappeared, but the 15 is still holding on to a 1 second advantage over the dueling Shifty Sports teammates. Meanwhile, Mitchell Welker has jumped up to P4 right behind this duo. The older tires are really starting to fall off now. You see Eitzen out of the top 5. Cutlip just barely hanging on in P10. They are needing a caution ASAP.
Oh. Whew. That's close. Yeah, they're starting to fall. The tires are starting to swing big time right now, and they're going to go through another change where I think Chad might really start fall off here because he really took off. He's really been driving hard. Is this a Leighton? Yeah. Looks like a Leighton's got a new purple truck. It looks like a. Yeah, I haven't seen that one before unless my trade. Yeah, it looks like Trading Paints is just messing up on him again. He seems to be the only guy with these issues. Even last year we brought this up where it would mess up like this.
Yeah, normally his car never pops up right on my end, but ironically enough, on my end, this is one of the few times where his truck is popping up correctly.
Yeah, and he actually has a new scheme, a scheme I've never seen before, because usually he does just have, the all-purple scheme, but looking at on my screen right now, this new scheme he has, that thing looks sharp. Oh, as he makes it through wide, dives into the apron. It's sketchy when you do this, when you wear the tires out some, because that apron becomes very slick.
Yeah, he got no heat in the surface, plus probably a lot of spent rubber.
I don't think it would be as bad in the truck since there's not a lot of horsepower, but I know an Xfinity car, if you try doing that, sometimes dude, just grabbing the apron, that thing would just spin out sometimes.
Yeah.
This it seems the single file out, a lot of the pack is not as crazy as it once was 10 laps ago.
Yeah, the comers and goers have come and gone at this point. Except for the 91, he's starting to get a little closer. He's now under a second behind the race leader.
Yeah, this is about to be a 5-truck race for the win, probably, because they're all catching Chad.
I'm wondering if Ethan Stanley kind of took it too easy off the start, because he gave up a lot of time and didn't get through traffic, as well as like guys like Chad Frankenfield, Josh Adams, Mitchell Welker up there that took tires, so might have been served a little too much.
Possibly. I think the thing, he needs to hurry up and get around these guys, because it's just slowing him down being, you know, in their dirty air and then racing, because there is some side draft in these trucks now, and the other vehicles, they've added that too, so that's going to slow him down more. So what he needs to do is just hurry up and get around these guys, and then I think he might be able to get to Chad. But I mean, looking at it, it looks like Adams is catching Chad little by little, not really fast, but he's catching them. And the other pack, looking at the time and the scoring, it looks like the bigger pack, you know, 3rd through 5th right there, or 6th, is starting to lose time little by little.
Yeah, you see, he's starting to catch him up, making up time hand over fist on the 15.
Yeah, see, that was the bad part. That run was perfect, where if you drove hard early in the run, if you saved and kept a good position, you know, while the other guys were driving hard, you could really benefit the last 10 laps of this run, or 15, I should say, really, because Adams is really starting to eat into this lead.
Yeah, now under half a second, almost under 4/10 it is now. Stanley also making up some time. He's about 1.6 back. So Chad Frankenfield has his work cut out for him if he's going to hold on to this race win.
Yep, and what Adams needs to do here is try not to follow in his tracks. Like, the dirty air sucks now. I'm sorry to say, but it's not fun. And just need to work on trying not to go where that 15 truck is going.
So far, he followed in the tire tracks almost perfectly. But he's still gaining under 2/10 now.
It's not as bad as the Cup car, but it's still there, and it will affect the tires. So that's what I'm worried about. Is like, the longer you stay in this dirty air trying to catch him, the more you're affecting. Oh, his Chad gets a little loose right there. This is actually what Adams needed.
That might be the death sentence. Here comes Josh Adams looking to the inside. Side by side, he's gonna clear. Josh Adams will take over the lead. Oh, not quite. Chad says no. Fighting back on the outside, and they're still gonna be alongside. Going down the back straightaway. And this is exactly what Ryan, Stanley, Welker needs as these two continue to battle as we're coming to 10 laps to go here in Chicagoland.
Oh, Adams gets a little loose there.
Side draft. Oh, man. Somehow Chad holds on to it, but that's going to be all she wrote, I think, for this one. Adams all alone with the race lead, and here comes Ryan trying to get his way past Chad Frankenfield. Josh Adams needs to run away. He's going to have company even still.
And I don't know how Chad didn't get spun around right there. I don't know if he thought Adams was going to go below the apron and cut the apron a little bit, or if Josh kind of came up, but We made contact around the line nonetheless.
I think it was
Yeah.
a little bit of both. I think Chad thought Adams was going to run the normal line, right on the white line. So he was just going to run real close to him. And I think Adams went up just to get a little side draft off of Chad and then hurry and cut the apron. So you're carrying that side draft momentum down and gain a little bit. So I just think they just come together right there. But what a save by Chad to keep it straight.
Yeah, meanwhile, Ryan trying to get by Chad, and oddly enough, Chad might be Adam's best friend if he can hold off the 66. He will not. Oh! Oh! Chad trying to pull the crossover, see if he can get ahead of the 66 again. He sends it off into the corner. Ryan runs low to hold off the slide job, and it looks like, oh, chaos! We got a caution! Oh my goodness, this changes everything.
Oh man. Well, I can say one thing: if all these guys got tires, this really messes up John and Eitzen big time. They lost all that track position.
Absolutely is. Oh, someone, that looks like Ricky Harden. See, big battle Harden in the middle of, and oh, so it looks like Dusty got the wall. Hossack went down to try to avoid it, and Ricky Harden was just already there, and unfortunately they made contact. It looks like everyone is bringing it down onto pit road, at least most everyone. I think we're going to go ahead and get in one more quick break before we come back for what will probably be 4 or 5 laps of insanity.
Champions, forged by the pressure of the countdown, will rise. It's where ambition meets asphalt, where some dreams are made and others go up in smoke. With only 4 races to go, the gateway to the West could be the way to win it all. This weekend, the Napa Auto Parts NHRA Midwest Nationals roar at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Get tickets today at WWTRaceway.com and be a part of the NHRA countdown to the championship this weekend.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Alrighty, we are back, and we are going to have 4 laps to go to decide this. You see some strategy calls. The front row will be Cutlip and Norgard. Some 2 tire takers here. Oh, this one's going to get wild, Matt.
2 tires, truck's already loose. It's going to get looser with the 2 tires. Oh, man. It's going to get good. What are you talking about?
Yes, sir. As the pace car makes a hard left-hand turn on a pit road, Jonathan Cutlip will lead us to the restart zone. Green means go. We're back underway at Chicagoland. Fantastic jump from Cutlip. Ryan trying to draft off him. Ryan with a good run as he jumps to the outside of the 5. Oh, we got one going around. It's Chad. Oh, aboard. Oh, and it's... Oh, my goodness. They're still wrecking. Oh, boy. I think we just junked half the field, Matt.
Yeah. What a wreck.
And
That's the sound of a race control man who doesn't want to be doing his job right now.
and I think
I
that all
think it all-
started with. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, I was gonna say it all started in front of these guys with Chad, I think, because that's all I seen was Chad get sideways.
Yeah, it looked like Chad on the better tires might have tried to cut the middle here, see if I can get the layup going. But looks like he better tires just trying to shoot the gap, and that hole closed up or was never there. Second.
See, there's the 16 looking to the inside.
Oh,
There's netcode.
Yeah, net code.
You know, Chad, I think, got away in the best position of anyone. Race chatter, really spicy. And you see around goes Bourne. Nowhere for Seth Rawls to go. Oh, the bad luck for Seth. Strikes again. Oh, massive impact. Pecumer popping a wheelie from that. See a bunch of trucks going to the infield grass.
A lot of carnage back there on the backstretch.
And
Yeah.
unlucky for Seth, having such a good run tonight, needed a good run. Been there top 10, pretty much top 5 right there late in the race. And then to have it end just like that. Well,
Yeah.
that was the caution John needed. I don't know if he's going to be able to hold these 4 tires back if it goes, the right green, white checkered all the way through, because he was already had Ryan right on his door right there at a 2.
Yeah, and he's just got to hope he gets a fantastic jump. But as we saw last week, Tommy Ryan knows how to get a good restart as the non-control truck on the front row.
Yeah, I think John's trying to get out of here with a better finish than what he was going to get when he stayed out that one caution with the old tires. So, and I think it was easier at North Wilkesboro because the box was a lot smaller. Here, it's a little bit bigger. You can play with the guy. You're outside a little bit more with the restarts. So, we'll see. I don't think he's going to get the magic jump like he did last week. But who knows? I could be wrong, and he gets an amazing one and is the leader going into 1. So, I've been wrong plenty times before.
Yeah, we'll see who's right. We'll see who prevails. We'll see if we'll get another green, white checkered attempt. As the pace car getting ready to make that hard left-hand turn on the pit road, Jonathan Cutlip once again will lead us to the restart zone. Green means go. We're back underway at Chicagoland, and Ryan gets the jump he needed. They are going to be side by side going into turn 1. Ryan's going to have the momentum around the outside. Cutlip trying to give everything he's got on the inside. He's going to try to clear. He can't. Ryan keeps the nose on the outside of the 5. And look at all the... I don't even know what to call this. We're going to be 3 wide for P3. Cutlip still holding on the inside. Big loose for Norgard. Oh, Norgard harder to the wall. They're wrecking. We're staying green. White flag in the air. Ryan edging out in front of the 5 of Jonathan Cutlip. And here comes Stanley looking to the outside. Oh, there's a truck flipping on the front straightaway. Oh, but we're staying completely following along with this battle for the win. Stanley looking to the outside. Can Stanley do what Tommy Ryan did to him and steal on the last lap? He will not. Back to back, Tommy Ryan wins at Chicagoland.
Woo! Woo! What an ending right there. And I wanted to go look at that wreck, but holy cow.
My goodness, what a race. Another fantastic job for Tommy Ryan, back to back for the 66.
What a restart there, and he proved me wrong. A great restart.
Yeah, he needed the jump of a lifetime, and back to back weeks, he gets it. Burn it down, Tommy, burn it down. Man, what a burnout. Whew, what a race.
See if we can take a look back and see, figure out who is flipping over here. Turn 4. Oh, McCorkle.
Oh! Hard impact for the 2. And then,
Oh.
oh my goodness, Graham Bullis! Oh, he got sent to St. Louis. My word. Oh,
Yeah,
record
find him on the
scratch.
pylon
Yep,
here.
that's
trying
me.
to...
You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. What a picture. Oh my goodness. Oh, put that as a Mark Robilis photography shot of the race. Good Lord have mercy. Oh, 720 kickflip.
There was something else that happened before this. I think the let's start with the Leighton Norgard getting loose.
Yeah, this was the incident that really caused the chaos.
Oh, the 92 grass.
Yeah, it's rough for Trey, and it's a lot of points lost.
I saw him leading earlier and ends up P34.
Yeah, that's a heartbreaking turn of events for Trey Eitzen. Oh boy, what a night, what a finish. Well, I think let's go ahead and get started with our interviews. First, we'll start with our third place finisher of Jonathan Cutlip. John, James in the booth, you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
My goodness, that was wild. First of all, just take us through that final restart there. Take us through what happened, because it looked like Tommy was able to get a great launch next to you.
Yeah, I'll give him his props. He had a hell of a restart when he needed it. That was, I don't think he could time it any better than what he did. But yeah, it was pretty much just a try to grab track position there at the end, and we ended up taking 2 tires. And I don't think the lefts were able to carry enough speed. I was giving it as much speed as I could without spinning it. It just, they could just stay on the throttle for just that little bit extra, and unfortunately that was pretty much the difference along with that restart.
Yeah, and it just really became a recovery game for you after the strategy to stay out after that on the previous caution ended up costing you a lot of track position with everyone on the new tires.
Yeah, me and Eidson were actually talking about it. We didn't think that 10 laps were going to make that big of a difference, but evidently it did because they were able to start 11th and they made it up there pretty quick. And at that point, we just really couldn't do anything on offense. We were just trying to play defense and minimize the damage. And luckily, we were in a little bit of a better spot. He got put in some tough spots and ended up dropping more positions than we did. But yeah, pretty much took both of us out of a good chance to win the race. But overall, it was a pretty good race. Setup was really slidey and fun to drive.
Yeah, and it still was a really good run for you, being able to rebound to a top 3, and you got a stage and dominated the early part of the race.
Yeah, I feel like we would have been in contention to win it. It's just the pit stop, we ended up losing the lead, and then we were just trying to save our tires a little bit because we did a little something funky with the setup as far as like the things you can't adjust, and I made the wrong decision on that, and we were just pretty much crashing. But I was trying to mitigate that. I feel like I was on the right path to do so. It's just the caution after 10 laps really hurt our chances with staying out, and it's always one of those things where like you have 20/20 vision looking back on something. It's just I don't think either one of us would have known that 10 lap tires were going to make that big of a difference. Just trying to recover the race at that point.
Yeah, well, still a great run for you. Any sponsors, plugs, and shout-outs you like to give?
Shout out to you guys over here in Elite, Nick Massey, James Watson, and Matthew Weeks. You guys do a phenomenal job here Sundays. I wish we were getting interviewed a few spots later. It was looking good for a while, but yeah, shout out to Race EPI, Proj Racing. Shout out to Tommy Ryan. He did a phenomenal job that final few laps and did what he needed to do, and that was super fun racing with him for a moment. Shout out to my mom. She's super supportive, watches every race. I kind of wish we got it finished, but yeah. Shout out to Loop Internet as well. They've been huge for me the last few months, and yeah, so I think I got everyone.
Alrighty, well, we appreciate you, John, and hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
Sounds good. Have a good night.
All right, and now time to talk to our second place driver. Ethan Stanley, James in the booth, you got a copy.
What's up?
Well, that was a heck of a comeback for you there at the end. You almost got revenge on Tommy for last week, taking this one right there at the end. Just take us through your night, really.
Oh yeah, started out pretty strong, just saving a lot of tire. I felt like I had the pace on the long runs over pretty much everybody. So just got to be really patient. The tires took a while to come in, like 15, 20 laps, until like you really started to see the wear. So just had to really wait for the runs, and unfortunately we had that caution around lap 40 that kind of ruined the race between me and John, but was still able to play my cards right. Pit when I wasn't sure if I should have, but ended up working out. The guys that stayed out ended up falling back a little bit, and then just towards the end, just fighting my way up front. Was able to just kind of make the passes on the bottom. Everybody's running the top to try to save a little bit, I guess. But yeah, pretty happy with the P2. I was able to come back and had plenty of pace there at the end on the little final run we had at the end.
Yeah, we noticed you fell back pretty far saving tires. Do you think you might have been saving too much there at the end before the cautions started coming out?
I don't think so. Well, at the end, I wouldn't have got to the front. I kind of burned off the right front doing that, just making all the passes on the bottom. But yeah, maybe I should have been a little bit more patient there and tried to save the right front. I didn't realize it'd be like that. I thought I'd just be saving the right rear. But yeah, pretty happy with where I was anyway. It still was like 5th after that caution came out towards the end, and yeah, just had the qualifying pace at the end there to put in some fast laps.
Now, what was going through your mind on the last lap? You see Tommy and John battling. Were your eyes getting big like, oh man, I might be able to sneak this one?
Oh yeah, knew I had to do a high line in 1 and 2, and just try to get outside of Tommy in 3 and 4, and I just didn't quite have the air. I dumped a little bit of air on my nose, and that was about it. But yeah, close battle. Just wish I had another lap or so.
Alrighty, well, still, it was a great run for you tonight. Any sponsors, plugs, and shoutouts you'd like to give?
Yep, as always, big shout out to Blue Egg, longtime sponsor with them. Lake Norman Motorsports, pretty solid night for the guys, all things considered. Big shout out to you guys up in the booth. Always love watching all these back. Big thanks to JD Designs, painting all my cars throughout the week. I run an Elite. And just a big shout out to Matthew and all the admins and Chad that run the league.
Alrighty, well, we appreciate you, Ethan, and hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
Yep, thank you guys.
Alrighty, now time to talk to our race winner. Going back to back, Tommy Ryan, James in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, how about that, man? Shit. Sorry for the language.
Dude, you need to like have a seminar on how to do restarts as the non-control car, because what you have found is absolute money. How are you getting such a good jump on the outside?
Just psychic powers, man. That's all I can tell you. I honestly just guess. And if I didn't go when he went, then I was probably not going to get there. So I was just, I mean, he's got a small window, so it's not that hard, but you just, if he doesn't go right away, then he's going to kind of go in the mid or something like that, but it's just hard to tell. And honestly, it's just pure luck. And again, last week at North Wilkesboro, iRacing is giving some leniency because I was definitely beating Ethan to the line last week, but that was, like I told Cutlip, I was like, man, that was almost like we were in the same channel together. I hit it so good, and I that was just incredible.
Yeah, and it was a great run for you overall too. You found yourself mired back a little bit, but you and Ethan were coming with a high rate of speed on Chad and Adams before the caution come out. Do you think you would have been able to catch them even if the caution didn't come out and chaos started to reign?
Yeah, I think we could have got there, but getting around them is the toughest part. Ethan's probably better at that than I am. And he was actually quicker than I was. I think he was just kind of maintaining his tire temps and stuff. I was going full out. I was just going to try to force my way up through there, but it was going to be tough. But the one I really hate was the first long run before we got the caution, because I was rolling up through there then too, and I felt like I had a little more control over the right rear than most of them had right there in the top 5, because I kept inching my way up there. And when that caution came out, it kind of changed everything. But yeah, awesome run, man. That was a ton of fun, very stressful, and glad I pulled it off, man. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. What was going through your mind when you saw Stanley with the run going through 3 and 4 on the last lap? Were you thinking, oh no, is this going to be an inverse of last week?
No, I was thinking, I ain't lifting. And I didn't. And I said, all I could do is just give him a little bit of air where, he can't turn. If it's, I didn't take any fuel and it was definitely tight. I'm assuming he didn't. So he was pretty tight behind me and actually hit the wall. So it was just, you weren't going to lift, and wherever he landed was where he was going to be. And if he got up under me, it was probably going to be tough, but worked out, man. It's so hard to win over here, and obviously I've done it 2 weeks in a row, but I mean that's like lightning striking twice, man. It's pretty fun.
Well, you absolutely deserved it. You had some incredible drives these last few weeks, bringing you some incredible wins. But any sponsors, plugs, and shout outs you'd like to give?
Sure, man. Obviously, Northern Tool and Equipment. Head on over to northerntool.com. And thanks for the series sponsor, Juicy Spider. Thanks for all their support. Thanks for Chad putting the series on, and thanks for all these guys, man. It's pretty fierce, clean racing for as many guys that are out here. I mean, we have yellows, but that's part of it. But it's overall the caliber of driver in here is so good, and it's so fun. So glad to be a part of it.
Alrighty, well, we appreciate you, Tommy, and hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
All right, appreciate it.
Alrighty, well, what an unbelievable race that was. My word. Any closing thoughts on that one there, Matt?
That was good. Chicagoland does what Chicagoland always does, produce a great race. And that was good. Good ending. Even though we had a little crazy wreck at the end, but still ended on a high note. What a great finish there. And some notables, man. I see it looking at the results. There's a couple of guys, started midfield or even further back that got to the top 10 with a good finish tonight that needed points. William White, he was right around there all night, but I don't know if he's running trucks full time. But if he is, that's a good point night. You got Shane, 21st and 9th, another point night. Justin Vandermeer, who's been gone for a couple weeks on vacation, hasn't touched his rig, and I think like 3 weeks shows up P7. Like so, and Paul, he's been busy with FTF top 5, and Adam's looking pretty stout right there at the end on the short run with the fresh tires. So a lot of guys got some good points tonight that needed the points, and a great race.
Yeah, just a unbelievable night of racing. A lot of fun to watch, a lot of fun to call, and a lot of fun to be a part of. And as you see the race results, can we go back to the first page real quick? All right, your top 10, Tommy Ryan from Ethan Stanley and Jonathan Cutlip, with Josh Adams and Paul Mikolajczyk rounding out the top 5. William White, Justin Vandermarl, Chad Frankenfield, Shane Tieran, and Jaden Racimas bouncing back with the top 10 run. And Mitchell Welker just outside the top 10 on his debut. Ty McIntosh, Jeff Ryan, Brandon Smith, that massive save early on in the race, bringing it home top 15. Austin and Nabnett rounding out the top 15. Seth, unfortunately, bad luck continues, running well, but only 16th to speak of. Joe Francis and Mitchell Javier bouncing back with a good run, but I think it's time for us to get the heck on out of here. For my broadcast partners, Matthew Weeks and Nick Massey, I'm James Watson, bidding you adieu, and we will see you next week.